Bloodseeker 1 a lot more when we've seen it, in the past with, they've done it with Visage, they've done it with Zeus, with Pugna, where you have some hero that's like being amped, like the damage output is there. Bloodseeker Necro even. But remaining. Puck, not the same with an axe. Like you needed another source of damage. That third hero had to be a semi-core, not an egg protecting initiator. And I think that's what ultimately hurt Nigma as the game continued because they ran out of DPS.
They did indeed. And we talked to Insania after their victory against Viking earlier this week, Boxy. And he mentioned specifically that in their help in preparing jobs, that is there. And of course, Blitz as well, helped them prepare to be able to have a good strategy. I felt like we saw the preparation of Team Liquid come into play here in the first game already, right?
Yeah, I feel a little bad about this because, I'm a bit of a Liquid fangirl, as I was telling you guys earlier. But with that Marana pickup, I was like, it kind of feels like they're starting to play into, what they need to pick up instead of what they wanted to. But I was totally wrong. Like that last pick Marana for Boxy, it was perfect. Absolutely
Wait
perfect.
a sec, one sec, Moxie. Because yesterday you said you were an Alliance fangirl. Today you're OG and Liquid fangirl. And 4 days ago you said you were a big fan of...
No. Liquid and Alliance are my two EUs.
10 seconds. So you're regional based?
I am regional based, yeah.
What are you going to do at a major?
Yeah.
Where there's...
I'm going to be excited.
She won't have this problem at a major, okay? Not both of those teams are going to be there.
I'm going to be excited to see good Dota, Like at the end of the day...
correct.
At the end of the day, you want to see the plays, you want to see them doing well.
True, that is true.
And shout out to all of the Complexity fans. I'm sorry. Any of you are still there. We lost a lot.
You had any to begin with?
Oof. Yeah, at least I had a strong dozen.
A strong dozen.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Team Liquid on the Dire once again. They go for the DK once again. An early pickup. Still quite sturdy there. Earth Spirit actually not banned this time around. So picked up instantly. And Puck Phoenix again for Team Nigma, even though it didn't work out.
5 seconds remaining.
Do we like it?
I do. It's just this
Radiant team.
I don't know a good word for it, like a trump card philosophy of drafting, where you have a puck, problematic, so we have a DK now. So we're never going to have a ton of issues. We can always kill this hero. It's like we saw yesterday, or the Nigma Alliance series, where Miracle's playing the Slark, and there's no BKB piercing disables. You don't really have an answer to the Slark. Puck can create similar issues if you don't have this one-to-one, stun. Got him. All right, guys, get him.
And the other thing I really like about what Liquid's doing is that in all of their drafts so far for the DPC, they've been picking quite for these heroes that are not only really difficult to gank in lane, but are also very good at pushing towers. So, and that they find that piece so important that they keep picking. Would have been Lone Druid if not Dragon Knight, but Dragon Knight worked last game, so they just have to draft slightly different around it.
Yeah, that's
and
really
also Nigma had the same opening lineup too, but this time they banned Caudle, so they felt like Caudle was the issue in making last game hard.
That's a really good point. Liquid, and you'll see this if you really study the patterns of how teams draft, but they like to check the same boxes. You can't prioritize everything in a draft, but specifically Liquid really value stuns. This is like one of those old school lessons, like on our Han 10 Commandments. Pick stuns. If you can't stun people, you can't kill them, and everyone is equally talented when stunned. Shiva and Miracle are the same player when CC'd.
I actually beat Miracle once in a pub. I feel like I'm better. No.
Were you sure Miracle or the...
No, I actually beat Miracle in a pub. 100%. I beat him, and then Sing Sing sent me a t-shirt saying that I beat Miracle because it was in a Sing Sing stack that I beat Miracle.
So it was a promo for his stream. Well done.
Truly done by myself. It was instrumental.
The point was...
Victory.
That should go on your Wikipedia page, girl. What are you doing? You got to put that up there.
Stuns, tower pressure are the big ones for Liquid, and DK provide both. And there she is, telling you, Sheaves, we got to see this hero more.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it twice already from Team Liquid. No, from Team Liquid twice.
Before
this is the third time.
Yes, this is the third time.
This is the third time. Yes, we've seen it twice before this.
This is the, they've already done really well with it. And lucky number 3. You know? It's only going to get better from here. But
remaining.
I got you.
Thank you. I'm actually curious. With the DK, I felt like the DK was super instrumental to help set up for those arrows coming out for Boxy in the initiation with the blink that he had. Is Marana still on the table here?
I think
now,
so.
We have Earth Spirit and Crystal Maiden, because Marana was played a little bit more as a 4.
It's definitely one of the better egg killers. With the fact that they have only DK for the stun right now, like if they the fact that they had 2 setup stuns made it definitely a stronger pick, because if there's just like one guy that sets up stuns really well, it doesn't always work as easily because Mirana's not always going to be around that one guy. So I wouldn't necessarily rush into it, but definitely is on the table.
This is something that PPD's EG used to always love to do, this CM Earth Spirit combination, but you don't necessarily want to go for a hero like Mirana. It's more mixed damage. You can kind of double down on AoE and physical DPS because your support duo forces BKBs. And it's really nice to have. You just need that right-click damage. They go Bloodseeker again. Man, that is... I just don't like Bloodseeker too much into this support duo, especially the DK I picked again.
But maybe this time Bloodseeker is picked up as more Legion of an offlane intended hero as the Legion Commander comes out.
Yeah.
They're going fast. They're very rapid right now.
Love it.
Exactly what they want to do.
This is a really underrated hero right now, too. And you have infinite mana with the CM.
So we saw the Dusa ban last game. I was a little curious about it. But I do like the Legion because it's going to allow them to save people's lives. So if somebody gets stream coiled, Legion showing up and dispelling them and giving them heal is a good option. And also attack speed. You can kill Egg with Legion Commander. You can do Blade Mill, Blink duels on Bloodseeker and be really effective. So they have some good options here.
This might be a little nuts, but this is a sniper game for Team Liquid.
Team Liquid's turn.
That does sound nuts.
Yeah, why is this a sniper game for Team Liquid?
Bloodseeker.
It is really good against Puck in the laning phase. If you go up against it middle, you hard counter Medusa, and I mean, ha.
Hard counter Medusa.
You think it's Medusa's
you outrange Stone Gaze.
10
Yeah, but she
seconds
runs
remaining.
really fast with Stone Gaze now, so she'll run them down every time.
Yes, well,
5
you'll
seconds remaining.
you have the cooldown reduction with the Midas, so by then you'll have even more items than she does.
Yeah. Look, I like playing sniper, but it's still really, really, really situational.
Okay.
He did say it was nuts, to be fair. It was a little nuts.
Yes.
He's just theory crafting,
More
you know?
than a little nuts.
This though, like this is how you want to see Bloodseeker in a matchup, right? Like in the previous game, it was a 1 because you needed something to actually deal damage. Whereas in this game, it'll be an MC hero, and he can just play for vibes, you know? Support items. I'll buff up the Dusa. I'll Rupture. I'll spam Bloodright. I don't have to worry about dealing damage. I can be this really cool utility concept, and I think that that's just a lot better suited for the hero and its place in the meta right now.
I agree with that.
Thanks, Kevin.
Radiant team ban.
So what are we looking for as our last picks here? Because we have a little bit of flexibility coming, I would say, from both squads actually for their last pick. What are we lacking?
Kuro's missing his hero. So he gets the last pick. That's got to feel good.
Unless he plays
10
Puck.
seconds remaining.
I suppose. Yeah, he does pick the weird hero sometimes.
He does.
5 seconds
You
remaining.
need a Mickey hero for Liquid,
Yeah.
and I think you need a Kuro hero for Nigma. I
guess,
wouldn't mind a Venge. It's a really good Venge game with Puck and a Dusa.
Yeah.
And against the
Swap out
LC.
whoever gets dueled.
Yeah.
It's
Snap the coil.
not a bad hero right now.
What a luxury position Team Liquid is in to have that
Team
one ban,
Liquid's
Broodmother,
turn to ban.
and Lone Druid. 2 bans,
Yeah.
I guess, coming out every time. That gives them such a strategic advantageous position.
And then Ice Frog doing what he can to make their lives more difficult, just continuously adding bans.
Yep.
Radiant
It's really
team
biased,
ban.
if you ask me.
Yeah, the DP ban coming out there from Team Liquid.
They expect it could be a Phoenix support.
Well,
Could have been Death Prophet side lane, like they played, like Nigma played before.
mhm.
Would have been decent against Legion.
I just
10
want them to keep it
seconds
simple. I really think
remaining.
you just give me a Venge, something solid. So it's just a point and click stun. You don't have any
5
right now.
seconds remaining.
They have a full minute left. Well, almost a full minute left in their bonus time. So they have some time to think this through and to talk this through with their coach, Sherman. There's a lot of options, actually, still available. How do we feel like they're doing in terms of, not in terms of position, but like, I kind of feel like they're lacking some, for example, tower damage coming out from the...
It's going to have to be Medusa, basically. Bloodseeker can take lanes that aren't really very defended, but Medusa's going to generally almost outrange a tower, so she'll be pretty safe there.
And because of this match lineup from Nigma, you want to be ran at. Like, you have the Dusa. You are banking on having the late game. You want to defend your structures and take advantages from fights, and then eventually Dusa has so much farm that she'll take towers of her own. But running into this lineup is near impossible. So you want to control high grounds.
It's a clockwork.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good.
Just initiate, basically.
Now select
It's
your
importantly,
heroes.
it gives them an ability to catch their opponents outside of using like Rupture or Dream Coil, which they definitely need. Weehaws can play Puck, so it's Phoenix Clock support duo. Against Ursa, the Ursa pick very good. Outside of not so great against Medusa, but very good against a lot of the other heroes.
Yeah, the Ursa's just going to dominate the Bloodseeker in lane. I think that's the purpose of the pick. That's why it was so quick.
So, first time in the game, on the series, on the draft.
I do like that taking Bloodseeker out of the game is going to make their early mid game a lot easier, and I think Medusa lineups are generally harder to play because you're so careful about how you initiate. So I think I like Liquid's draft better.
50 kills in 30 minutes, over or under?
Under, I think.
Yeah, less
I
kills
think-
than previous?
I think I'm going to go with under too. I mean, I love Liquid. They're doubling down on the aggression, but I just think it's going to be a lot harder this game. It's a Medusa it's farming, not a Bloodseeker. I think that the off lane, it makes a lot more sense. And they're all in. All three of these cores, single target DPS. It's a big ask. They're going to need to have double Nigma's kills to be even in this game. And that's just tough against Crow and the boys.
All right, thanks, Purge, for your contribution. We'll come back to you after the game. Moxie, final thoughts on this draft?
I like the aggression. We saw what Liquid was bringing to the table early on in the first game. They all went at, both of them actually, the full 5v5. But I feel like with this kind of a lineup, they're just going to go running at them and they're going to secure themselves that early pick.
All right, will we have a third game? I really hope we will, because these two teams seem very, very evenly matched, and they are very entertaining to watch. Made even more entertaining by a commentary duo of OD Pixel and BS Day.
Thanks very much, Steve. Yes, game 2 of Nigma versus Liquid. And Brian, what sort of stands out to you first? What do you want to talk about? We're getting this very quickly picked Ursa from Liquid to end their draft. Are you sort of on board with that? Do you sort of look at this game and say it's a great bear game?
I wouldn't say it's a bad pick. I didn't see anything better, but I don't necessarily feel all that great about it because last game, counter to the Bloodseeker Puck was that they kind of just stood still. Ursa, on the other hand, has to actually run around in the fight, and if they throw all their spells on him and force him to use his BKB and ultimate defensively, he's suddenly not nearly the threat and tanky hero that he's meant to be. I think Medusa makes their entire game plan very difficult. 4 of their 5 heroes have to be point blank range in order to do any damage, and Medusa, I think, counters that as a whole. And they have to go on the Medusa eventually, and the rest of Nigma's lineup is just so good at what Kyle and Paul heal. You're forcing them off of the Medusa with the Clockwork Hook and the Cogs, the Phoenix Egg, Puck
The battle
Coil.
begins.
I really like Nigma's draft. I personally think it's a heavy out draft for Nigma.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how it's going to play out because I don't play heroes like Medusa myself, but on paper, I would be scared to play Ursa in this game. But yet I see what they're going for. It's good against Bloodseeker in lane, good against the Egg in the mid game. So I like what they're thinking, but I do think Nigma has the upper hand.
I mean, that's the thing as well, right? Is that this top lane, as you say, sure, the Bloodseeker's melee, Mika's going to have that advantage being an Ursa against him, but you're against this Bloodseeker and the Phoenix, right? And this Phoenix isn't going to be too much fun for the Ursa to lane against.
Yeah, Ursa's just not the lane dominator he used to be. He usually comes online like level 3 or 4 when he gets a couple points up in all of his spells. And Bloodseeker is 6 base armor, really high base armor for an offlaner, traditionally speaking. So the threat of the Ursa physical damage early is not going to be nearly as high. And he also has decent sustain. And the Phoenix, like you said, the Fire Spirits can be super annoying because Ursa might have to put a point or 2 up in the Overpower, which means he has less points in the Earth Shock for the slow. Yeah, I don't think this lane's nearly as bad for mind control as Kyle painted it to be.
Okay, and then meanwhile, sort of down on the bottom lane, are Liquid going to be able to put much pressure onto Miracle here as this Medusa, or are you able to farm pretty safely down here?
Yeah, I thought they were going to pick something like Ogre last pick for Nigma, but Clockwork does a similar job. His whole job is just say, get away from my Medusa, right? He's going to walk in front of you, threaten with the Battery Assault, and I don't think they can really do anything in Miracle here. They're both melee. They have to go through a Clockwork. Kuroki's always going to position himself properly. Just look at him. He's just running. They have to Legion. Boxy's actually getting completely zoned as Miracle is just free farming down here. I really like the idea that Miracle has to solo carry this game. I think his hero is much more built than last game to do just that.
say, Kuro doing a great job of just running Boxy down and causing him to have to make the move all the way back to his tower. Top lane Mickey is looking for GH. He's going to have another shock in a second. GH just hits level 2 and is able to dive back out to safety. Quite able to off yet. And it's going to be interesting. Oh, Miracle. He's landed himself up underneath that tower here. Tiger can do the best with the body blocks, but Kuro will come across, logs out on the 2 of them. They'll safely sit back and revive them. An abundance of mana to rely on for a shield. And yeah, just going to be interesting what Miracle builds on the Medusa. We did see a Medusa the other day. Went for 2 of the Falcon Blades to the S and Y. So that is definitely one way to play the hero in this patch. Let's see which way Miracle wants.
I'm curious if he does the same thing. The Falcon Blade seems really nice for the mana regen as well as the health. It's just so value on Medusa, but I don't know if you need 2 of them. So I'm that's the only sample size I have thus far. But I'm not like sold on it completely yet.
No, because other than that, like what sort of vibes are you looking on Medusa? Is this another hero that you still feel happy getting a Maelstrom early on to just sort of speed up your game?
I'm of the opinion he probably just needs to build to live, just buy efficient stat items like a Manta and a Scotty, and basically just say my team's going to do the rest of the damage for me. Bloodseeker Phoenix, I don't think damage is going to be an issue. I think it's more so that as long as Liquid can't kill him before all of his teammates' damage goes off, then he's good to go.
Their target looking onto Weehaw, but quite be able to set up completely. Bottom Boxy now with the levels level 3, just do a better job of turning and trading back with Kuro. Points the moment of courage to go. Mid lane Weehaw is completely out of regen. 4-minute runes coming up. He's going to chance it for the bottom rune, and he's going to get very fortunate too. Gets the refill, and it's an arcane. So, lovely power rune there for Weehaw. Side, only really that bottom lane where Boxy's a little behind sort of the top lane. We're going pretty evenly. No one else really getting completely bullied out.
You will make a nice knowing.
We are.
I like the Taiga's move here. I think him going top is really good because he can't really help pressure the Dusa, and so in that case, just let Boxy be Boxy down here, and he's allowing the Ursa to get solo, like basically free farm up here because mind control to walk up.
Can you get away with buying Midas on Medusa nowadays, or is that just way too?
I think in some games you can. I think Ace heavily benefits from the attack speed, and it just depends on how much you feel like you're going to get ran at mid-game. And I think since Liquid has a high threat of that here, as you see Crystal Maiden, I feel like if you had to bank on one hero every game being First Blood, high percentage-wise, it'd be a Crystal Maiden.
Might have a chance of getting Mickey as well, getting clipped by the edge of the Blood Bright. Speed from Mind Control to keep chasing with We Are, and at the same time down bottom, Kuro. And there's 2 of them, Kuro and Miracle, able to run down Boxy. Kills across the map here for Nigma. And again, We Are making the same sort of move that he was doing in that last game, where he really was off to just a brilliant start with his early rotations on the puck. And we're seeing that yet again here. He's still getting aggressive top. He's about a creep away from hitting level 6. Insania, very low. He's trying to pop the stab Insania, but We Are's going to be able to finish it off. The setup's there for Mike trying to get the kill with the Blood Right. And now We Are, he's level 6. So he can look to get even more out of this. Turns over towards Tiger. They're going to get another out of it. It really is, again, just the opening 8 minutes, we saw, We Are get an ultra kill in the last game. Already here in the 6 minutes, 2-0-2. He got so much done there with that move up to top.
I think in this patch, it's really hard to play carry. I think it's really hard to be survivable as carry. I think if you ever manage to draft a carry, that I look at it and say, I don't really know how he dies. I feel like it's a significant draft advantage, more so in this patch than normal. And I just look at this last pick Ursa, and what made me so hesitant about it was that I'm so scared of his... He can't, farm from 10 to 15 minutes. He's going to get ran at. He's constantly under threat. Actually doing you very well super early game. And I don't feel like they can reciprocate that pressure onto this Medusa. I think the top of last pick was great. You saw it bottom. and exactly what it was meant to accomplish when Miracle got kicked under tower. But here, they're looking to make something happen. Liquid is not okay with the status quo of this game, and they are going to try to basically ensure this Ursa's safety top so that he can have some space to farm.
Yeah, out completely. So unlikely that Tiger and Senny can get the angle they want. Look who's chasing. Wear's already moving back up here. 4 seconds to Dream Coil. No hesitation. As soon as the ult's up, Wear's in position to put on the pressure. Mickey has hit the 6. So yeah, he's going to pop it early here to break the coil. Sure that he does Nigma from trying to dive in underneath the tower.
It's just so nice to play Deuce here because usually as a carry you're like quote-unquote AFK, right? But he's actually able to defend mid-tower. So that is super nice because he frees up his map to do whatever Weehaw wants on the map. And you see here, he's pressuring the Ursa while Medusa's just defending mid-tower and farming. You just have to compare the lives of these two carries, the two heroes that are meant to win the game for their team. Medusa's just chilling mid, Ursa's getting ran out by 3 heroes. And I think this is going to basically be the look of the game for the next 10 minutes, honestly. And by that point, I think the net worth lead from the net worth differential between Miracle and Mickey will be too much to overcome for a hero like Ursa.
It's top. Tiger. The rest of Liquid, they've sort of bailed out of this top lane. Tiger tried to stick around to at least soak up the XP. But Nigma not going to let that happen. Another kill's found out that top lane, and that top lane is going to be completely abandoned now from Liquid. Very surprised if we see them try and put any hero up here. Certainly issues to deal with elsewhere. Pressure already coming in mid. Because as you say, it's going to be very good timings this game. Just had that S&Y queued up on the Brave fan. So not a Falcon Blade, man. Just going for the standard S&Y. So just purify his abilities as he can. Top lane Tiger, he came back to the lane. I mean, I said they wouldn't come up here. Tiger decided to prove me wrong. Instantly TP's back and dies the second time.
I actually don't know how Liquid wins this game. I actually don't know how they win this game. I feel like it's already over. That's how I view it. And the beauty of this is I love how teams will do whatever they can to win the game. Like they're just going to figure out some way. Like if we can win the game, what's the one iteration, according to Doctor Strange here, that results in our victory. And right now, it looks like Liquid is just going to try to hit their time. DK, I think, is going to be the backbone of their comeback here. Maybe that early bit of tower pressure maybe catches them out with that early blink dagger. Because right now, Taiga's only level 4. Legion Commander doesn't really have a clear dual target. It's hard to get on top of the puck. Medusa's going to be playing super safe on the map. Phoenix, Clock, these are very hard heroes to duel. And Weehaw, you just feel so content on Weehaw here running around the map. In the meantime, you can pick up the match. Good start.
Get one. Don't know what's good, but it is TP away. He'll make it. Something found, at least for Liquid, as Mickey gets the kill onto Weehaw. Dive in on the mid. GH looking for Tiger.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
TP straight back into the mid, trying to do his best to limit the amount of pressure that Miracle can put onto this tower. But Miracle's got the back of the GH. Miracle doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. Sticking around, trying to finish off the tower. The stone gaze as well to try and secure the last hit, but they have to be fortification up. So Nigma will have to retreat. At least we'll be able to hold and take that away from them if they want to.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top
the problem with that kill on the clock is it seems nice as the opponent mid laner, but you're supposed to be able to turn that into objectives for DKs, but because of the pressure that Miracle's putting mid, he has to then use his Dragon Totem to defend rather than do anything in regards to taking objectives of their own. And Mind Control, he might be in some trouble top. Taiga is level 6, rolls into the duel here most likely.
Damage right as bottom lane, we'll find the tower tonight. It's taken away some of this potential gold that Nigma could have cleaned up. Maybe quite good best to hold the pack, but Flores having to get back. Comes in from the side with a hook shot. They're going to pop the egg, make sure that they have enough magical damage to take this, but they still might not actually have the number there. Obviously, ever come in with the heal, allow Koifa to step away out of the cogs. Make sure that he doesn't pull out by the supernova stun. So all managed to live. Miracle, though, was able to get that last hit on.
That's 4 heroes from Liquid to lose a tower. They're very happy with that result outside of Team Nigma. They don't care about the kill on DK. They just wanted the tower. Like, obviously, the kill on DK is icing on the cake, but all they wanted there was to finish off that mid tower so Miracle can kind of go farm wherever he wants. He kept farming mid in order to exert the pressure, and now he can choose to farm Ancients and be more efficient at picking that tower. Roki, no hook shot just yet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Can they try and fight this? They do have the jeweler, but it still seems very hard.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Being as strong as they are right now. Over Nick, White Place trying to pressure the mid tower. GH and Miracle trying to force them away. Hookshot's going to connect. Kuro leads straight in onto Quake, but Rihar's coming across. They're looking for the chase. At the same time, top lane. Mind Control getting gone on by Tiger and Insania. Dreamcore locked down mid. They'll guarantee themselves the kill on Quaife, but Mind Control still alive up top. Should die to the 3 of them though. Team Fox is able to walk in. Get himself another successful duel. Till Nigma taking the trade, keeping this momentum up as Mickey has also been found. He's coming in. He's out of the cogs.
Radiant's top tower is under
Quite kill him, but bullying him away. Miracle able to take a bit of this triangle away from the Ursa. I think obviously one thing that Liquid's got to really do their best to control is their jungle. There are some lovely stacks there, and it'll be a huge shame if Miracle's able to walk in and take them for Nigma.
Yeah, it's just economic damage here. Miracle is like basically getting escorted to his farm by the rest of his team. He's like, I'd like to farm the enemy triangle now, please. And they just 3-man gang squatted up, forcing the Ursa out. Seems like it may be inefficient to do that for some camps, but Ursa's not farming. So even though your GPM's technically lower on the Medusa than it would be if you were farming your side of the map, you're making the Ursa's GPM effectively 0, other than the passive gold. He's forced to run away. He's not getting any camps at all for himself. And it's all percentage based. You'd rather have 100 to 0 than 200 to 1 in terms of net worth, right? Like, so it's going to keep paying off here. Miracle's got the S and Y. Really good against the duel as well as the stun from DK. Seems like a lot of carries are just prioritizing the Sange and Yasha after the status resistance buff, as well as the only source of status resistance over the Manta. Kuroki just scouting here. After they take that tier 1 tower, the map is their oyster. Team Nigma. They have the Puck farming bottom, Miracle's farming jungle around mid, and the rest of the 3 of them are kind of just poking and prodding the rest of Team Liquid to annoy them and cause them to basically always be on the back foot.
They found him here, moving in with the smoke. TP's coming in from Liquid. Gonna do their best to try and keep Quaife alive, but the commitment's there with the Dream Coil. Instant ends CMO with the Mule Steps and Supernova's down. They've got a split Liquid. They're trying to get away from it all, but Quaife cannot. Held underneath the egg. He'll fall. They also get the catch onto Insania over to the side. Nigma, more kills. Now in position to start taking more of the potential farm away from Ursa as Miracle moves into the jungle.
Jackpot for the twins.
His farm quite a step ahead that of Mickey. A bit of catch-up will occur now. Mickey, he has at least got the Battle Fury complete. Still a long way to go to match the pace that Miracle's farming out of it. More kills for Miracle to get involved in. Steps across, playing for life with Tiger. Rehart. This will kind of running out Foxy to the side, but no Coil quite back up yet, so have that immediate catch. But this is some early aggression now. 15 minutes in, you're stepping up with this Medusa to these tier 2s, and Quaife trapped in the trees here. They're able to hook shot, drops over to the side. Mickey's been started. He's got a chance to get the ult off. He's got to run. He's got to step right out of it, but it's disruption. Miracle's able to move in. They're trying to lift the silence and the duel to lock down Miracle. But he's just too tanky at this stage. They don't have the damage to kill him. Mickey ends up dying inside the base as we are dives in for him. Picks up another as Insania is also going to go down. As it just seems to be too much. 16 minutes in, 14-3, 7k lead. And Nigma's lineup, that they could just sort of go wherever they want with this Medusa. And it's hard to see what Liquid can do to stop this.
Yeah, Medusa. I think the Medusa pick was just too good. They had DK, Earth Spirit, Legion most of the time in that draft. Like, all their damages, we have to go on. And it's similar to last game where Nigma relied on going on them, and they just didn't have to move on side of Team Liquid in game one. It's like the opposite here. Medusa just, you saw there, he gets dueled up. He's in the middle of everything, and Miracle's just like, okay, I was going to be attacking you guys anyway, so I guess I'll just keep attacking. The rest of his team's cleaning up in the back. Ursa had to use all of his like ultimate survivability tools just to live, which means he can't dish out the damage because he's no longer confident in terms of his own survivability. Oikfa, like DK's not going to carry the game. You know, he tried his best to create some pressure early on, but Nigma consistently was willing to bring 3 or 4 heroes, even just to slow him down. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to kill him, just stop him from creating pressure so that you can then pressure the Ursa. And Miracle's almost got a butterfly done. Ursa overpower, it used to not count attacks when you miss, but now it does. He's got the level 10, 15% evasion talent, plus the butterfly coming out for Miracle. This Ursa ain't hitting shit.
Another connection. What's going to stand his ground? Go for the duel with the blade mail. He's not going to win that duel though. Won't lose it even. Does die after the end. So just more catches for Kuro. I mean, Kuro is 5 o'clock. Have a great game though. 2-0-5. Easy setups and hasn't died at all. Bottom lane, Quagler really trying to get some objective. They've got the tower defense. It's Nigma come in, push him away. Dyer's keep that tower alive and available for the deny if they want to. Spike Joyce hunting. Curious. How? Hit. Team, you know, looking towards Mickey as Farm after the Battle Fury trying to get this BKB. I mean, is there sort of any, like, how many items does Mickey need to be able to sort of say, right, I can turn up to this fight as the Ursa and at least take someone down? Like, is the BKB going to be enough for Liquid to try and fight around Mickey and commit for some of the squishier kills, or is he at this stage is it still just a complete struggle?
Every hero on Nigma can defend himself, so I don't actually know. He needs a pistol in order to kill people.
Dyer's middle tower is under
and I don't know if the game will last long enough for him to get it. I know I sound like Mr. Doomsday, Gloom here for the side of Liquid, but I think you have to be ahead of Dusa on Ursa to have a good matchup at all.
Middle tower has fallen.
It just keeps getting better.
Flips. He's got a full item on Miracle ahead of the Ursa, and the thing about those ultimates that it feels so good when you know you're in this spot on Team Nigma, they're like efficiency ultimates to kill Quakefo down there. It's like we only have to bring 2 or 3 heroes to kill you rather than 4 or 5 because we're casting our ultimates on. And when you see people just willingly using their ultimates for kills like this, even just pressure like this, then you know you're in a really commanding spot, because usually if you don't have your ultimates, you have to be afraid afterwards. But Nigma
is under attack.
Like, look at Mickey's life. He's just getting kited out of his own jungle, or out of the opponent's jungle while Medusa's farming his own. Constantly having to deal with threats while Medusa just forced the CM to TP.
Is it spring already?
I don't think this ever gets better. They're eventually going to take Roche on the side of Nigma when they feel like it's safe. They have no sense of urgency here. They don't have to rush. Once Medusa has 2 lives, I can't fathom the first one, how he loses that one. The second one is even...
Silence!
Kuro on that for his Stadia. Easy catch for Kuro. As soon as Stadia steps outside the base, Kuro. Definitely scrambling for Liquid's heroes to get any sort of item up. 11k down, 19 for 3. Nigma hitting perfectly hard, and as you say, something that you felt, you know, this is pretty much what you expected from seeing these drafts. This sort of pace, or is this more severe than you expected, or less so?
I'm not going to act like I'm some oracle. I just have played Ursa in a similar situation where I didn't really know, unless I had a really good start, how the game would, like, how I would be able to carry the game. So when I see these drafts, I just thought their timing was really fragile. So if they didn't hit it, it was going to be a nightmare. That's kind of how I thought about it. And since they were able to get a couple kills on Ursa early, They really slowed down that Battle Fury timing. Medusa got all the space in the world, and now I feel like the script has already written itself. And here's the Roche coming out. I didn't even mention, Kyle mentioned it during the draft, but he now has the Blood Rage buff as well. And the damage. He gets the Phoenix go. No buyback.
Not a bad start at all to a fight. I think he can keep this going into anything more. Successful duel from Boxy. Boxy, he's going to try and catch up the ancient. I managed to do so. Stop playing with that. Start playing around with Tiger. And the coil to be dropped. Take the kills around. He knows it's not necessary to win a fight, to have the ult. Still get the space, despite the effort from Boxy. Tiger to push him away from the pit. Get back in, finish this off. Sells that is secured. Of course, looking at the gold, just step closer to what is going to be one of the fastest guardies after butterfly. Fastest butterfly timing from Medusa on this patch from Miracle. The rest of the items are going to continue to fly out at a very...
Yeah, he's got the. It looks like he's wrapping up his build with the Daedalus. If he does get that far, he basically says, "I'm unkillable. Now I kill all of you." The natural progression for heroes like Medusa: stat yourself up, and then make yourself unignorable.
Take away that off Nigma's, but as soon as they come forward. It's an easy kill. Boyflip tries to hold back Miracle with the Dragon Tail stun, but now he's left himself open to be ruptured. Tanky's trying to run, but we are locks him down, forces out the BKB. Quakefoot will at least keep his life intact. And without a BKB and down bottom, he's on the hungry Boxy. Boxy trying to stand his ground. Wants the blade mail and the duel, but Kuro will be happy to take the plus 20 on this.
I'll kill you again.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, I feel like this is hunting season, and Liquid are just a bunch of deer running around the map, trying to just have some, eat some grass or something. You know, they're just trying to live their lives while kind of having their way with it. This is just slaughter, man. It
really is. I mean, this is under attack. We sort of saw in game one Liquid spiral out of control in the second half. This has just been Nigma spiraling out of control pretty much from minute one.
Top tower is under
this game. I mean, those first few moves from G-High up to the top, crushing the lane of Mickey, just really sort of set the gears in motion, and Liquid just haven't been able to put a stop to it at all. We're 24 minutes in, they have this Miracle Medusa knocking at their base, S&Y Butterfly Skadi, and Aegis. Just an incredible amount of strength that they have to sit behind here, Nigma. Liquid, they can't really even get around to the backlines. They're maybe looking for an angle here with the smoke. I think it's a duel out onto Leon to get the kill. Good position for the ult. And now GH swoops across, drops down the egg. Miracle just pops the stone gaze. Still in the fight. Rough them for Liquid. They're trying to retreat, but they cannot get Quakefoot out of there. Mickey Ryan stand his ground against mind control. The Tiger's rolling away. There's nothing they can do here to stop Nigma just from taking their set of racks. Top racks down 25 minutes in.
Rack it on.
Mind control, they are low. I mean, Tiger might get some kills off the back of this. Another rock down, keeping the magnetize going. He gets Kuro. Get mind control as well here. Tiger, there's the one really steps too close to mind control. Tiger gets a few kills out of this. Okay, he's going for Miracle on the high ground. There's going to be a buyback from Tiger. Miracle, of course, still with that Aegis, so they'll have to go for him twice, but there's no Weehara or mind control to help him out. Tiger, the angle, Boxy. They're going to find the duel. They get the Aegis. Can they do it a second time, though? It looks like they're not going to chance it.
And it's off.
So a little bit of action there for Liquid. Kind of sort of the only
jackpot
kind of fight that they've managed to get something out of in this whole game. Of course, damage still very much done with that top lane taken completely away from them. And
Radiant
again, even with those kills, nothing really that can be done off the back of them.
They scan him. They know Mickey is here.
Got him. Kuro's in. Okay. He has got BKB ult. He's actually going to stand his ground. And that will him to lose his life. Either even with the enrage, unlikely to be able to TP out. I'm consider the amount of right click that Miracle's doing right now.
Yeah, Liquid actually played that fight really well. They went on the Medusa with the Earth Spirit just to silence him so that the Medusa wouldn't be able to protect his teammates with the Stone Gaze. But even then, like, they're just down by 2,000 net worth going into that fight, and even more afterwards. You just can't overcome this differential when the enemy team has so much team fight, raw damage. The writing's on the wall. And, looks like they're going to play it out, though. I respect that.
Always worth to play for the final extra minutes, give you more time to think about what you're going to do coming into game 3.
Give the enemy team a chance to throw, but it's hard to throw with Medusa. You kind of just
Dire's
stand there
is under attack.
hitting things. It's similar to the last game, though, right? Both teams had a hero that just becomes unkillable. It becomes really hard. It's pretty impossible to play the game. Like, no matter, Kyle talked about the skill level of people is all equal when they're stunned. I would say it also looks about equal when there's a hero you just can't kill. Because who cares how many abilities you land? The guy just doesn't move.
Dire's bottom
rages
has fallen.
Able to take these buildings with no answer from Liquid.
Burrow even went for drums, so attack speed wasn't enough. Let's give him another 45.
Nice upset. The duel needs to lead. Managed to apply the Yule Scepter. He'll go down. He has got a buy back. Quite clever. Having to use the BKB to step back. They managed to take most of the mana of Miracle away. Make chase for kills here, Liquid Tiger. Leading up the Magnetize, starting up the defense. Mickey's able to get in on top of Mind Control. Disarm onto the bear from Mind Control. Run for the CT out. Not going to be able to make it. They're able to take him down. Miracle stepping back across. Feeding into Boxy. He'll go down. There's a dieback on Boxy. Quite but trying to run in a Miracle. But he's also unable to deal with the damage that Miracle has. Mickey has the enrage and the BKB. It doesn't matter. Miracle takes him out. Triple kill to Medusa. 35-9. 26k lead here. That's 29 minutes lead into end this game. As Nigma hit back as hard as Liquid did in game 1 and even more. This was, as you said, Brian, you thought this was going to be a very hard game for Liquid, and it really just, it looked impossible against Nigma.
Hey, if you give Miracle the perfect win condition hero, I personally am never going to bet against it.